I've never performed a song about a book in front of an author before, and I can't tell if the solution to that is either not look at you or stare at you directly.
Let's try both.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear, which is more or less what I'm going to be doing tonight anyway. So the thing, I feel like whenever I read a book about race specifically, sometimes it can be it's an experience that I'm always not sure if I'm going to have to engage with it, how to do it in a way that feels respectful. But there was a chapter specifically where you go home for the first time and it doesn't feel exactly like going home because, that American side of you sometimes feels like it's almost tainted the other sides of you. I'm a Greek American first generation, which I grew up in Seattle, so there wasn't Astoria or really other Greeks around. So, when I was growing up, Hercules was around, so at least people had some concept of what I was. But after 9/11, people no longer knew what Greek people were, so it was oh, you're Middle Eastern, and that's associated with badness. Or, during the whole Trump election, you're Mexican, and that's associated with badness too. And so it's weird to shift between all of these different roles, and for some reason, no one can view any of them positively. And I remember specifically after our worst thing, which was My Big Fat Greek Wedding came out, just the way people would try to engage with you was so weird. And that was also the first summer that I went back to Greece, being cognitive enough to form memories. And it was just such a weird time. So I wrote this to kind of engage with that chapter, this kind of rant of a song about the encounters I had with my American friends and then my Greek family, how it just neither of them felt particularly on my side. And everything I say that someone says to me was actually said to me when they said it to me. Yeah, and there's not really a structure, so hold on to your hats, folks.
I'm at my 4th grade graduation parade, backstage, making small talk with my principal. And he says, I got a few friends from where your family's from. And it's amazing how your kind always find a way to slip through the cracks. You're kinda like poison gas. You're kinda like poison gas.
It's true. Oh, it's also just these 4 chords for a while, so let's have fun, y'all.
Now I'm in Greece for the first time since I was a baby, and my family's trying to teach me a couple key phrases, 'cause it turns out I never learned the language, which ironically has become a sticking point of a lot of conversations. And now I'm at the base of the Parthenon, crying at a restaurant, 'cause my uncle calls me an embarrassment, 'cause I can't order for myself. Which sucks a lot because he's wearing an Iron Maiden t-shirt and I really want to impress him, 'cause I just discovered Linkin Park and I'm starting to think that loud guitars are cool, but he doesn't think that I'm cool. Later on I'd find out he had a pretty bad coke addiction, which might explain why he was so mean to a little kid. But I'm not sure. Oh, and later at dinner my grandpa starts to crack up, 'cause I try to say the phrase for dipping bread into olive oil, which as you can imagine comes up a lot when you're hanging out with your family in Greece. But instead, I say the slang for tea bagging, which some of you may know is a sexual act where you dip your ball sack in and out of your lover's mouth, which is a very strange thing for a 4th grader going on 5th grader to say. But I'm really embarrassed. But my grandpa can't stop laughing, so I guess there's that. But I'm not having a good time, so they try to make it up to me. So they take me to Luna Park, which I realized today there's a Luna Park in New York too, but it's not. It's a really janky amusement park in the center of Athens, which isn't the best part of Athens. So we're at this amusement park, surrounded by wild dogs, and they ask me what I want to do, and I'm just discovering animals. So I say, let's go to the circus tent. So we do. And it's kind of cool at first. There's a guy with a mullet who swallows a sword, and there's a bunch of other weird animals from the Middle East, and I'd never seen a camel before. I don't have a joke for that. I've never seen a camel before. Then they send in the clowns, and they go around and pick out a couple of kids to put on stage. You can see where the problem's coming in really quick. Because they go to the first kid and tell him something, and he roars like a lion. And they go to the second kid and say something. She makes the sound of an elephant. Then they get to me. They only speak Greek. So the clown says something to me, and I do nothing. Then the clown gets a little bit madder and says something to me, and I roar like a lion. That's not the right answer. Not even a little bit. So I'm just thinking, what do I do? So I do the elephant thing, and that doesn't go well. I'm looking at the crowd. My aunt's there, and she's laughing, like seriously, hysterically. And it's kind of terrifying me, because she's no help at all. And then for some reason I'll never understand, I pop a button on my overall, and my pants fall down in front of everyone. This is a sing-along. All right, it goes like this. Now I'm embarrassed and afraid, getting yelled at by a clown with my pants down. I'm embarrassed and afraid, getting yelled at by a clown with my pants down. I'm embarrassed and afraid, getting yelled at by a clown with my pants down. Oh, 666, the number of the beast. Oh, 666, the one for you and me.
Niko Stathakopoulos.